Mr. Schrader.
Here.
Mrs. Schatzinger.
Here.
Mr. Hanson.
Here.
Mr. Gallops.
Here.
Mr. Morrison.
Here.
Mrs. Kane.
Here.
Mr. Wirch.
Here.
Mr. Split. We have a quorum.
You.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and with liberty and justice for all.
A reading from Psalm 28, verse 7. The Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusts in him, and he helps me. My heart leaps for joy, and with my song I praise him. Gracious God, thank you for giving us this day and all we have. We ask that you would be with us in all we do and be attentive to and aware of others during this time of COVID-19. Thank you for giving us your strength anew each day. With you, Lord, nothing is impossible. Please be with and bless the City Council of Ripon as they gather together to make decisions and guide our city. Give them strength and wisdom that whatever they do may be in the best interest of all the people of Ripon. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Could I get a motion for the approval of the agenda?
I'll motion it.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Agenda is approved. And there is no public comment this evening. So we'll move right into our only action item of considering the proration of liquor license fees. Anyone like to start this discussion?
I'll start.
Great.
My thinking, just thinking out loud here, is 25% off the Class B intoxicating liquor and malt beverage, and then the Class C wine. That gives the 3-month break for when they couldn't sell the alcohol.
I think I have to question, are we gonna take anything into consideration when rumors that are circulating is that there may be another COVID flare-up in the fall months? Are we taking that under consideration for a little bit of relief?
I think we just wait and see.
And if we decide to prorate it now, can we come back later and prorate again, or are we stuck with where we're at?
I think once you make a decision this evening regarding the proration of the new fee, I think that's probably the end of that calendar cycle. If something were to outbreak in the fall or in the spring or in the winter, you could look at that again in the following year. We're kind of looking back here as well, and so you could be looking back again. Is that a motion on the floor? Did we get a motion? No, just discussion.
I'm thinking out loud right now.
You're thinking out loud. Okay, just wanted to clarify.
I think a minimal 25% would be a good.
I agree with 120. It covers time that they took to reopen and get their establishments back up to whatever new regulations they had to go through, so.
I think we're taking this on because, I stand with this because there's a lot of businesses out there who weren't hurting as bad as the bars were, or anybody who was serving, Class A, B, or even C liquor.
I beg to differ with you. There are a lot of businesses that were hit just as hard, if not harder, by the shutdown. So
I don't disagree, but I think, bars though, especially, there was no business, there was no income. For some people that was.
And if you walk down Main Street, you would have seen the same thing.
Okay.
Businesses were closed by the governor. Some of them were closed up to 10 weeks with no income coming in either.
Okay.
So it's not just one pocketed business entity, it was everybody.
Okay.
I think Jolene made the point at the last meeting where we're selling this license and they were unable to use it, and we were just kind of giving them a refund on this. It's not. Do bailouts, we can't, but we can make it right. Giving them that portion back. 5% is doing that.
So just for those at home, we received information for a refund, what the cost would be. So here, we're talking so March 20, I believe, is when the orders went into effect for stay-at-home. And so, 3 months out from almost, right, June 25th. So it is about a month. That does align closely with about a quarter, it seems like.
Doing like you were talking about, just reuse that
Yeah.
portion. All right, I'll make a 5% off. And sure.
Oh, except for,
Class A.
oh, there's another one in the back?
Yes.
Tina B.
Okay, very good. Thank you. And to include Patina B somewhere.
Are you
Yes.
including that in the motion?
Yes.
Okay.
And Patina B.
So 25% off the full calendar year fee
Yes.
for the list provided.
I'll
there a
second the
second?
motion that's on the floor.
Second by Jolene. Any further discussion on that motion?
Yeah, would we be issuing them a refund for this year or crediting them that amount for next year's license?
Crediting them for next year's license. For those that haven't paid, have they all paid, Han?
Go ahead, Ann.
I would rather refund the money right now. It would feel a lot more complicated if I have to remember.
I was just wondering.
Okay,
Yes.
you mean,
Would be best.
That's not until next July.
oh, yeah, okay, that's what we meant.
true.
Okay, so they've all paid?
Except one.
Okay, very good. Then it's a refund.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing no further discussion, the motion is to issue a refund of 25% of this calendar, or this coming calendar year, or service year, for 2020, 2021 liquor licenses, and that's the Class B fermented beverage, intoxicating liquor, Class B fermented beverage only, Class C wine, and Class A fermented beverage and intoxicated liquor license. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item for discussion is the status of Horner Park. Howard, do you want to start that one?
Sure. Mike and I met with MSA. It was Dan, yeah. And we looked things over there. To his statement was that he sees no further damage to what had been prior, and that he thought it would be safe for pedestrian and bicycle traffic to cross. And that's basically where he left it. Mike, do you have anything to add?
No. We did fill in the hole there we did fill in that hole that was there. That tends to, from what I found out in my right here, seems to wash out. So I do have a work order in to do some, hopefully some permanent repairs so that this doesn't continue to be an ongoing problem. We just filled it in with gravel. All the water washes to this one spot and goes down the side. So we're looking to do something more permanent down the road here. And then we also talked about crack sealing some of the cracks that are in there on that pavement to
Yeah, on the asphalt.
on the asphalt to prolong whatever we can.
In the middle, on the west side, just right in the middle, you got a crack going all the way down on the outside of the bridge.
Okay.
That, I don't know if you noticed that or not. I'm gonna fill that in.
Where the asphalt and the cement piece
No,
comes together?
on the concrete, on the wall itself.
That we can look at. I'm not sure what we can do there. I was mainly talking.
Spackle.
It'll crack again.
Duct tape.
Flex seal.
There you go. So, you know, that is basically where we're at there. I'd like to turn around and see about moving this forward to doing more of a structured type close-off to get those big concrete barriers out of there. So it does look a little better. Mike and I have been talking on some different avenues for that. Plus then we have to still contact Condons and work with them on this, because we do want to be good neighbors on this. And we feel, looking at it, that we should be able to do something that, like we want, without really affecting their traffic coming in and out. So,
That's something that Park and Rec would draw.
that's what I was just gonna say is,
Say, is that
we can turn around and, we have a Park and Rec meeting, this Wednesday. I'd like to, with council's blessing, to,
Put it on.
present it to them and work through that and then bring it back to council for a, further discussion or action, depending on what council feels like doing.
Can we do something about the barricades now? People are riding their bikes through there right now,
Right.
and you can't even walk two across. I'm afraid there's a bunch of just junk from the snow that had melted, and it's like this thick. And
That gravel
Yeah,
garbage type
and
stuff, that should be able
it
to.
gets kind of hairy with a bicycle, and a lot of people are going through there. So if we could, like,
Clean that up.
I mean, move them, angle them or something where a car still can't get in there, but people
Yeah, we
can
could
get
spread
in
them out
there
so they're a
now.
good 3 foot
Yeah,
apart.
and make it where
That'd be
people
enough
can,
for a bicycle to come to.
that would clean it up. That would go a long way toward making people happy in that
Yeah,
area.
and that's something, Mike, you'd be able to get the guys down there with a front end loader and just swing them a little bit and.
Sweet. All right, thank you.
Do we need a motion to instruct?
I have a question
Rec.
real quick. As far as the bridge goes, if it's something that's been closed off because there were concerns about safety, what is the kind of a time frame for regular inspection going forward? If it's opened, it doesn't look like there's going to be any damage, but what, is it inspected on a schedule? Or no, would it just be,
That particular one is not inspected on
Okay.
the schedule. State Street Bridge and the dam are inspected annually.
okay,
It's something that can be done, but it is a cost of around $1,200 to do that. It's not vehicular traffic, but
Right.
it's something maybe that can be done every 5 years or something, or, you guys, whatever you
okay.
think.
Yeah, I just didn't know if there was a, obviously not having vehicular, that's a lot less
Yep.
stress, obviously, but if it's something where, it's been deemed safe, I was just curious.
I mean, if we start seeing some collapsing, some potholes, some things like that, and then we're
At least
probably gonna
close it
have
off
to-
until
We're
we
gonna have
can-
to completely close it off.
Okay. Thank you.
So just as a follow-up, so what's been decided on is you're gonna bring it back to the Park and Rec Committee?
Right.
And then at our next meeting, we're gonna decide to fix the pothole, or is the
We'll
pothole being
bring-
fixed now?
The potholes,
That's fixed.
that's
Got
already
it.
fixed.
Temporarily
making sure.
fixed, but I'll put a permanent something in there down the road,
Got it,
okay?
And then there's gonna be some sealing of some of the cracks in the asphalt.
got it.
And then I'm just gonna go ahead and create some more space in between the cement blocks there, and clean that up so that folks can get through there, whether they're got a stroller or walking side by side or something.
And Park and Rec will bring a recommendation back to council to discuss and decide what action they want to take. Okay?
So do we need to
You need a motion.
make a motion to,
Need a motion to that effect.
like to make a
A
motion?
motion to have Park and Rec Committee look at the Horner Park Bridge and parking situation and come up with another recommendation for council.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
Just for clarification, if you can kind of have a rendering or some kind of drawing associated, so we can be clear what we're leaving
Exactly.
Condon.
I did
or
that
taking
before.
away from
I did
Condon.
one up before, and I'll
Okay,
bring back
perfect.
another one.
Kinda like
Thank you.
You got the parking lot on the north side, move it to the south side.
We got it on
just
both
flip it.
sides in it, yep.
Okay, thank
Thanks,
you.
Howard.
Any further discussion? No further discussion. All those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. See, next item is city administrator recruitment and selection process. I'll start here with Al. You want to start this off?
Sure. I believe everybody should have gotten a copy of a recruitment timeline that Lori graciously put together for us. Her last day of work on this outline is April 8th of 2021. Her retirement date is June 1st of 2020. So we have to start thinking about this. And one of the big questions we have to think about is whether we're going to do this in-house or we are going to use a recruitment firm to supplement this process. There are a number of firms in Wisconsin and in the area that have experience in, recruiting city administrator positions in communities all over the state. Most recruiting firms, you can have a menu, for example. We would want the recruiting firm to post the position, advertise the position, screen applicants, conduct preliminary interviews, and maybe deliver a list of 5 qualified candidates to the council for consideration and those type of things. You can do this in a number of ways. I looked on the Wisconsin League of Municipalities website today. There are a number of communities that have requests for proposals out on the website to ascertain costs associated with the recruitment and those type of things. That would be a recommendation I would make, that we start just the RFP process to see what those costs may be. The second thing is then adopt a timeline. And I think the timeline that Lori gave us, some of us some time ago, is very, very detailed, very accurate. It gives us a step by step guide to, trying to find someone to replace her, which is going to be highly difficult. So with that, I didn't have a chance today to look at, an RFP statement, what information that entails, but I would be most happy as your council president to draft something that we could get out to everyone, perhaps discuss at our first meeting in July, and then get that RFP placed with the League of Municipalities. We could also send it to that number of firms in the valley, in the immediate area, letting them know we are looking for requests for proposals. And they usually don't take a long time to get back, so we may be able to put a couple of week turnaround on it and have something to look at. Because my experience with search firms is sometimes they base it on an hourly rate, they base it on a percentage of salary for the position. There are a number of ways that they do it, but this would begin the process. And then, as you can see, there's a number of things that need to occur over the next 9 to 10 months, so.
All right.
So you start RFP and you're happy to do that?
Happy to draft an RFP statement, yes, that we could then submit, again, to individual firms and, you know, just the the Wisconsin League of Municipalities had 4 or 5 or 6 of them. So we'll kind of look at those and beg, borrow, steal, those type of things, but it shouldn't be that difficult to put a draft together.
We need a motion for that?
I would like a motion for that, and just before we make that motion, I think Al has identified a reasonable first step so that the council gets a sense of what's out there, and I think that at least having a search firm part of the process is important at this stage, and especially with the turnover on the council and the mayoral position. I think it's important that we move in that direction.
I'll make a motion that get Al Schrader to start the process with an RFP.
Brought back to the council for consideration. Yes. Okay, just want to clarify.
I'll second that.
Jim?
Timeline, Al, for down the road, obviously, you know, we talk April, June of next year, and we're only June of this year. I know there's a timeline, and it'll go quicker, slower, but how far in advance can we get on this for hiring somebody? Is there a right or a wrong?
Well, you know, it all depends what we want to do. Do we want to have that individual on site to perhaps spend some time with Lori prior to her last day of work on April 8th of 2021? That might not be a bad thought. You know, so, but really, you know, once we review the RFPs, we have to look at the ordinance, we have to look at the job description. We have to get that in the hands of a search firm if we elect to use them. If we don't elect to use them, then we're going to have to get that, you know, that ad out, you know. We have to look at what requirements this council feels are important, what the qualifications need to be for the person. We then need to communicate that to the search firm and all of those things. So there's going to be some work involved, and I'm going to continue to, you know, work with Ludd on whether it's open or closed, and so we're doing it properly. But, so, does that answer your question, Jim?
Yeah, I just remember last time too, with the interview process itself. I mean, we're looking over a month just for the interview process.
Right.
Easy. You know, so you think it's gonna be, okay, you just interview and you hire, and then they're here in 2 weeks. It's not that easy.
But if you had to screen
Yep.
all of those things, you know, it's an incredible amount of time. And frankly, difficult to do with 8, 9 minds. 10, count the department heads, you know, you can, it's a difficult process, so.
All right. The motion is to have Al Schrader develop a, was it RFP statement to bring back to the council at the next meeting. Has been moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
Second it.
Any further discussion?
So does that mean we're actually gonna have proposals of cost?
No. We have to have an RFP statement
Got it, just making sure.
that we then send out,
Yes,
and then we request proposals
Yes.
to come back by a deadline.
Okay. Any more questions or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? we'll look forward to that at the next meeting. All right, project updates and staff reports. Lori?
I have anniversaries for both the month of May and June. So in May, we had 6 anniversaries. We had Amanda Sprague at the library, 9 years. Dave LaViolette in the water department, 11 years. Travis Staub in the water department, 12 years. Myself, 17 years. Our city attorney, 28 years. And Tim Furch in the Department of Public Works, 29 years. And then for the month of June, we have Jeremy Jess in the wastewater treatment plant, 3 years. Karen Baranchik in administration, 7 years. Jim Jacobs in the water department, 15 years. Our EMS chief, John Teachout, 15 years. And Officer Lindsay Michaels, 16 years.
Public Works?
Since the last meeting, there's been quite a few things going on with the street projects, so just take a few minutes to update where we're at on this. The cement crew is finishing up within the city. I think they got a pour. They're going to be pouring downtown tomorrow. There will be pouring cement for the 2 swing sets in Horner Park, and we'll be pouring our columbarium in Garden of the Cross tomorrow, weather pending. As far as the streets downtown, they're starting to backfill along the curb edge, and any other streets that need black dirt and landscaping behind them, seeded. They already started all that today, so they're coming to the end of that. I talked to the mayor a little bit before, and the downtown streets, we're gonna turn the street side sideways so that we can start to see full traffic through there until the pavers come in, which will be after the July 4th. So that'll open that up. They'll be safe for that. Over the course of the next week, late this week, the contractor is coming in to Sullivan to do some sewer work, some digging on that. So that'll be their start. Otherwise, everything seems to be going well. We did have one issue with some curb issue that we curbed over. A company called Interstate Saw will be in to saw those on Thursday. We'll get that end taken care of on Sullivan Street for the resident. And you also probably seen tree removal in town, so we are doing some of that also for that, and stump grinding we did today. And then obviously the swing sets on Horner Park are working on being installed, and we decided cement pads on those. It'll keep the dirt from eroding and and be a better product in the end. That's about all I had, unless you guys had something.
Thank you. Anything from the police department? Nope, nothing there. All right, any other projects?
Nothing.
Nope. All right. Moving on, I have no appointments today, just have a short message. I wanted to thank everyone who participated in the vigil and rallies over the last couple of weekends. I wanted to thank them for being respectful and peaceful. These issues are very easily cause heated confrontations, so again, thank you for being civil. Also, please remember that COVID-19 is still an issue in our state and in our community, so be vigilant, practice your social distancing, and follow the CDC guidelines for cleaning and disinfecting. And as always, be safe, stay healthy, and remember to be kind, considerate, and respectful to others. Are there any issues or questions from the council members or future agenda items?
I'd like to talk about code enforcement. So I'll go into more detail later. I got a few more people to talk to.
Okay. Any other issues or questions?
Well, I guess I'll just announce to the group that I already submitted to Lori a question about how to utilize downtown space that the city owns. And so for local establishments, especially restaurants and cafes. And so Lori is looking into, basically it might be just adding a picnic table in the downtown open space. And so that may be something that on the agenda for next meeting.
All right. Anything else?
I don't know if this is appropriate to say, but I know we're all going to leave soon, but I will say that on my email today, I got a spam from Mayor Ted with the name, and so I guess just a warning for everybody that to be careful on what you click on our emails that are listed on the website.
And after researching it, I don't believe my account was hacked. It looks more like someone is using possibly a directory of Ripon names to do some phishing. So, like she said, be careful.
Don't buy the gift cards.
If you have any questions, feel free to call.
Buy the cards.
I was like, why would he ask me to put my kids in the car and go to a store?
All right.
Discreetly.
Yes, discreetly, of course.
Don't tell your banker.
I'm like, if your meeting's that
Right.
important, you should not be on your phone.
Is there a motion for adjournment?
I motion.
adjourn.
Moved. Any second?
Second.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.